These look really good. Spanish strawberries.
How much are you buying?
I don't think I'll get that much today. Just cherry tomatoes for me today.
These look basically what I wanted. Yeah, perfect. We don't need onions.
Ready? Where's your car?
Deal or no deal? How many did you want?
Maybe do they just come in sort of like the
Little
bundles?
packets.
Just one packet, I guess, then, please. I've got some other things planned, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing the pickles, so I got.
Let me just go. Thank you, have a deal. I just said that.
What a nod.
It's between Everton and a Satsuma. They're nice. You've had them loads of times.
Oh really? Oh. Every time I come here, I find out the names of like a new fruit that I've had my entire life.
Yeah.
Oh, dragon fruit, nice.
Very arty though, isn't it? So you were doing a drawing or
Yeah.
That's wicked to draw.
Are they the red ones or the white ones?
Is that wasabi? It's like a wasabi root.
It looks like horseradish.
Yeah, it's called.
What, this one? That's horseradish.
I don't have too much planned, but definitely want to grab one of those as well. I think that's it for us.
1808, please, darling.
Tino. David, that's your call. Yes, thank you.
And that one more.
Oh, I got that.